Good morning, Legacy Taekwondo. I'm Master Elder, and today we are putting together the Tuesday morning workout. It's going to be almost 10 minutes of warm-ups, approximately 20 minutes of workout, and roughly 10 minutes or so of stretches at the end, so a little over 40 minutes total. The workout itself is going to be 10 1-minute exercises that will occur twice. So basically 20 exercises total, or 10 exercises total done 2 times for a minute each. So we'll cycle through 1 through 10 and then go back to 1 and go back through till 10. The break time will basically be the amount of time that it takes you to transition from one exercise to the next and get set up. So it'll be on you to set your pacing. If you feel like you need to get water in the middle of the workout somewhere, that's totally fine. You work out at a pace that's appropriately challenging for you. I'm going to be using resistance bands for our workout today and a piece of paper or paper plate. I'm going to discuss both. If you don't have those items, you can use equal weighted dumbbells, one for each hand, or if you don't have any home equipment, you can use equal weighted canned goods, jar items, milk jugs that are equally filled with the same amount of water. So basically all you need is 2 items that weigh the same if you don't have resistance bands, okay? If you do have resistance bands, hopefully you have a good set that has come with both handles and a door anchor, okay? Your door anchor is this item here. Essentially, it's something that is kind of bulb shaped or fat on one end, attached to a loop on the other end that you can feed the bands through, okay? For the sake of time, I already have 3 bands fed through the loop and the handles attached so that I can get things moving quickly. For those of you who need to set up, feel free to pause until you get everything into place, and then we can move forward. With your door anchor, I want you to set it up at about your head height, top of your head, okay? So, and I will say it is easier to put the door anchor in if you don't have the bands attached. So I'm going to open my door, I'm going to feed the fat end through the door at head height, or a little above for me. There we go. And then I'm going to make sure that that door latches. Now, in an ideal situation, you would actually be putting your door anchor on the side of the door that closes. So what I mean by that, because the door closes from both sides, right, is instead of it being on that side of the door where you watched me just shut the door, in an ideal situation, I would be working out on the other side of the door and the anchor would be on this side, so that as I pull against the resistance of the anchor, the door doesn't accidentally pop open because you're technically pulling against the door to be more closed. However, I don't have that luxury, so I am going to lock the door in hopes that that will help minimize the likelihood of this door anchor coming out. So long as your door and frame are secure, you shouldn't have any issues. I'm not going to be having you dangle your body weight from the bands. So they'll hang down like this with multiple bands in place. If you have that luxury, you can easily double up bands by clipping one handle to 2 bands, or clipping a handle off and on to the next band quickly, okay? The other piece of equipment we're going to be using is a paper plate or a piece of paper. I've actually got kind of one of those like junk mail things that's a little bit thicker and shiny. So we'll be using this for activities where we want it to slide on the floor, okay? So I'll get into how to utilize that piece in a minute, but even a simple piece of paper from your printer will do. It won't last. You won't be using it for anything after this workout, and it probably won't be good for the next workout, which is why a paper plate or something a little bit thicker like that is probably going to hold up if you wanted to use it again a few times, but a basic piece of paper will do. So I've got our timer already set up. We're going to go ahead and get started. warm-ups. We're going, all right, we're going up and down with our calf raises. If you want to add a bounce to it, you can turn this into pretend jump ropes or bunny hops. We're gonna pull the toes up, stretch through the heels, warm up the muscles on the front of the shins and legs. All right, we're gonna do butt kicks. Running kicks. And knee pumps. You can run these knees in place if you want. That's fine. This is all about your intensity level. I tend to ramp up my intensity as I go through the workout for two reasons. One, we're going to do side knee pumps. One, because as I go through the workout, I get more warmed up, so it's a little bit safer to increase intensity. The other reason is I'm the one that has to talk and explain things throughout the video, so I don't want to get too winded early on. All right, let's go ahead, knee up, push forward, side to side, hip rotations forward, whoa, and hip rotations backwards. All right, other leg. And side to side. And hip rotations forward. And hip rotations backwards. And we're gonna do just controlled twist through the middle. I've spoken about this in other videos, but this is not an explosive motion. You're not trying to, when you're doing that twisting motion, you're not trying to get your back to crack. You're just working on getting a little bit of natural rotation. Switching sides. Alrighty, we're gonna do forward reaches and pull. So we're pushing as far as you can, pulling back, push forward, pull back. We're going overhead. Actually, let's go ahead and switch to small arm circles forward and medium circles forward and large circles forward. And we'll go small arm circles backwards and medium arm circles backwards and large arm circles backwards. Now we'll go overhead and down, up and down. So imagine you're pushing an item overhead and then you're grabbing a hold of something and pulling it down. Pushing overhead, grabbing a hold and pulling it down. Tipping the neck or the head forward and backwards just to warm up those neck muscles. Let's go ear to the shoulder. Again, we're keeping our shoulders down. We're not bringing them up like this. There's nothing that you're going to get out of that. Keep your shoulders down, ears side to side. All right, rotate. Alrighty, I think I've hit most of the warm-up exercises. So let's go ahead and talk about the exercises in the workout. So we're going to be doing what I call wax on, wax off. That's the first exercise. We're going to use your paper. So you're going to be down on the floor. If you have two pieces of paper, that could be even better because then you can use them both at the same time. But you'll be down on the floor. Get in a position where you can see me. Okay, push-up position, so hands and feet, hands and knees. I'm going to have my feet kicked up right now just so I'm not hitting the bed. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Okay, we'll go 30 seconds on one side, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So this is going to be a core exercise, okay, and some shoulder stabilities. We'll follow that up with side step shuffles with a little hop, okay. You can make your hop as big as you want. Next, we're going to be doing forward flies with the bands. So you'll have your back to your bands. I do not expect you to remember all this. I'm just kind of giving you the preview where you'll be right here. One hand will go out, back to the center, the other hand will go out, back to the center, okay? For that exercise, if you don't have bands, you can lay on your back. You can bring your feet off the floor so your knees are over your hips, and you can have your dumbbells open up, okay? Then we're going to go squats with a kick, so squat, kick, squat, kick. You can add any kick you want. You can change up the kicks. We'll follow that with standing rows. Again, you'll be with your bands, both arms pulling at the same time now. Or if you don't have bands, you can take your weights, slight bend forward, rowing this way. And then we'll do knee, 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 kick, kick for cardio. We'll have side planks where you're on your elbow, this side of the floor, 30 seconds and 30 seconds. We'll use your slider for lunges. So you'll be here, slide back, come on up, okay? We'll do 30 seconds on each. Bird dippers, another one that we've done before if you've been following other videos. And we will finish with bird dogs where you're here, alternate reach and kick. All right, so since I'm on the floor, we're gonna grab our paper. We're gonna start with that wax on, wax off. All right, circle right, circle left, circle right, circle left, circle right, circle left, right and left, wax on, wax off, 5 seconds left, and then we're gonna switch sides. All right, go ahead and switch hands, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, circle, circle in, circle out, circle in, circle out. Make sure that your core is engaged. You're not slumping your back or arching your back. You're not rotating your hip open in order to lean your weight more to one side than the other. All right. We're going to switch to our side step shuffles. All right, so just side to side, hop, side to side, hop. If you want a little more, use the hands to really reach. Think like you're blocking a volleyball net. Fifteen seconds left. Make sure to really pick your feet up on those shuffles, especially if you're on carpet. All right. We're coming over to our bands. We're going to step facing away. You want to step far enough forward that you can feel the resistance on your bands. In this position, open up one arm, back to the center. Open up the other arm, back to the center. Keep your core engaged so you can see I am not twisting my body through this motion at all. My arms and chest muscles are doing the work, and then my abs are keeping me stable. You can also do a parallel stance with this if you wish. That's fine too. If you were standing with one leg in front, when you do the second set, you'll want to put the other leg in front just to balance it out. If you felt like that round was too easy, then let's go into those squat and kicks. So squat, kick. If you felt that round was too easy, go ahead and double up your bands. If you're using bands, so that round 2 of that same exercise is a little bit more difficult. All right, we're about 30 seconds through, so I'm going to switch my kick. Still keeping my chest up. I'm still loading my legs over my feet so my knees aren't caving in or out. I'm not Bambi-kneeing, not doing this on the way down or the way up. All right, now we're going to a standing row. I'm going to double up my bands, so I'm going to clip the second band to this setup, and then I'm going to step back so I feel the resistance, and then pulling both arms at the same time. So for those of you who do not have resistance bands for home equipment, I highly recommend them. They pack up super easy. They take up very little space. They're lightweight to travel with, and a good set of bands will come with handles, usually at least 3 different levels of resistance which you can clip to your handles all at the same time if you wish. A door anchor and a really good set will have ankle anchors. All right, now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 knees, kick, kick, 1, 2, 3 knees, kick, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, kick. By doing 3 pumps and 2 kicks, I'm switching feet automatically. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to switch to reverse crescents for the last 30 seconds. So it's the same general movement pattern, the same cardio. I'm just getting a different kick in. All right. Slightly different use of the muscles. All right. If you want the intensity of this particular exercise to be a little more, all you do is run your knees. All right. So we're going to switch to side planks. All right. Elbow down under your shoulder, hips up, lift and hold. Okay. We'll do 30 seconds on this side and then we'll switch over to the other side. You should be feeling this work happen. You should have a straight line here, straight line ear, shoulder, hip, and knee, and nose, sternum, belly button in between the knees. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Straight stack, straight line, and hold. And as the work adds up, this side should start to feel like it's doing the work. For our next exercise, you're going to want that piece of paper back again because we're going to do those sliding lunges. So, go ahead and grab your paper, put your foot on it, make sure your foot's close to the front but not off the front, and you're going to slide and drive, slide and drive. So you're really driving through the front leg to come up, and you're controlling that backwards motion with the front leg as well. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. All right. Slide, drive. Now you may find that there's one leg that's not as strong as the other. Maybe one leg you feel like you can go deeper than the other. That's okay. That's probably normal for many people, but the goal is to make sure that you try to work on balancing out those imbalances so they don't turn into injuries. All right, now we're going on to those bird dippers. So straight arm out, tipping over as far as you can. Remember, we're keeping alignment between our shoulder, hip, and heel. So what does that mean? That means if I can only stay balanced to here, but I can maintain that alignment, great. It means I'm not reaching with my hand to get closer to the floor without my leg going up. And it means that I'm not bringing my leg down to the floor. So I'm not doing this and then standing up. That's a whole different movement. Everything is moving together. My hand, shoulder, hip, heel, all moving up and down at the same pace. My toe is pointing down the whole time. My shoulders and hips are level, so I'm not rolling my body open. All right, and bird dogs. So hands and feet, opposite hand and foot are gonna reach. You're gonna pull your belly button into your spine and hold it there the whole time, and you're gonna look straight down at the ground so that your neck is in line with the rest of your body, and you're going to work on straightening your leg and your arm out in line with your core without hunching or dipping your core as you move, and ideally without swaying side to side as you transition. Those are the goals. We have 7 seconds left. If you need a drink after this round, that would be a good time to get it. All right, so grab your water bottle. We are going to be back on the floor. All right, back to wax on, wax off. So we're right here. Circle right. Circle out. Circle in. Circle out. Circle in. Circle out. 5 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to switch. All right. Circle in. Circle out. In. Out. If you are doing this on your knees, you can't feel it very much in your core, then make sure you pop up to your feet, or even put one leg straight and one knee down. Just taking away that support that matches will make the exercise harder. All right, side step shuffles with a hop. Shuffle. Up. 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 Almost there, 30 seconds. All right, coming back to your bands, or if you aren't using bands, laying on your back with your legs off the floor, hands over your chest, stepping out against the resistance, one arm, and then the other arm. Excuse me. Notice I have my other leg forward. Last time I had my left leg in front. Now I have my right leg in front. I'm still keeping my core engaged. I can come into that parallel stance if I want. So my feet are next to each other. Now I am leaning into this exercise more than the last time, because you might be able to tell I added a second band when I turned around to do the rows. And I left that band on to increase resistance. All right, we're gonna do squats with your kicks. All right, so squat, side kick. Remember, with your squats, feet are a little wider than your hips. Chest stay lifted, head stays up, both facing forward, okay? I'm going to switch my kicks to round kicks just to change it up a little bit. Same movement, same weight transition, just a different chamber and extension. So instead of it being a pushing motion, it's a extension motion. Five seconds left. All right, going on to those standing rows. So if you're on your bands, you're here, one leg forward, one leg back, pulling. If you're not, you're bent over with your weights, pulling. Abs engaged on that forward bend, so you're supporting your low back the whole time. When you're pulling, think about actively trying to squeeze those shoulder blades together as your elbows pass your rib cage, so that you're really driving that movement into the right muscle groups. All right, you're not just using your biceps to bend here. You're also using the muscles in your back to pull those elbows back. 5, 5 seconds left. All right, we're moving on to 3 knee pumps and a kick. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, there should be 2 kicks there. 2, 3, 1, and 2. 1, 2, 3. Remember, 3 pumps and 2 kicks switches sides automatically, so you're not leading with the same leg on every kick. You always want to be balanced. All right, we're going to switch to reverse crescents. Reverse, reverse. Same cardio, same core engagement, different leg muscle movements. So you're asking different muscles to work for you. All right, side planks, elbows and knees, elbows and feet, hands and feet. Any level that's good for you is good for me, as long as you're in the right position to get the correct work out of your exercise. So stacked elbow, shoulder, shoulder, arm, ear, shoulder, hip, knees in alignment, nose, sternum, belly button in between the knees. Let's go ahead and flip sides and recreate that alignment. We got 3 exercises left after this one. We've got those sliding lunges again with your paper, bird dippers, and bird dogs. All right, so grab your paper, 1 foot on, 1 foot off, and drive. Slide and drive. We'll do 30 seconds. While you're doing this, make sure your knee is staying over your foot. You don't want that knee caving in. If you're doing this correctly, you definitely should feel the muscles in the back of your leg pulling you back up. Switch sides. Driving through the heel, so I'm pushing into my heel as I stand up. My knees staying stacked over my foot. Bird dippers. So this arm, I had to think about it for a second. Over and up. If your balance is getting a little bit more challenging, that means that your legs and your core muscles are getting tired. That's normal. Work within a level that challenges you, that pushes your limits, and allows you to come back tomorrow and do it again. There is no sense, switch sets, and pushing so hard that you are physically capable of only doing 1 workout a week, okay? It is most beneficial for you to be able to work out multiple times a week. Depending on your goals, a minimum of 3 to 5. So working so hard that you can only work out 1 day a week is not helping you meet any goals. Whether it's basic health goals like cardiovascular health, aerobic health, weight maintenance, social, or I should say mental health, all of those things are going to benefit from regular activity. Strength training and flexibility, things that challenge your muscles beyond their natural limits. Maybe you do those every other day, but that's still going to put you at a minimum of 2 to 3 days a week, depending on how you're arranging your workouts. So you want to be able to come back tomorrow and do something. All right, we are all finished with the workout, part of our workout. Grab another drink and we are going to switch to our stretches. Since we're already on the floor, I'm going to start on the floor. So you're going to tuck one heel by your hip. If you're not super flexible, you can leave this back knee open. If you can put that back leg to the ground, then that's great. I'm going to keep my posture in line and turn my belly button towards this front knee. I'll feel this stretch in the hip of the knee that's in front. Go ahead and switch sides. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. One leg back, heel by the front of your hip, chest posture in line, belly button rotated towards your knee, and lean in. We're going to switch to the other side. Same stretch, different foot position. So your back leg and your upper body are the same, but my front leg has been at 90 degrees. You'll notice my heel is not tucked by my hip. Posture's upright, and I'm leaning in to that front knee again. So I'm feeling that pulling in the hip and glute of the leg that's in front, just like before, but it's going to feel a little bit different. And with my leg extended a little bit, I feel that stretch pull down the outside of my leg a little bit more. So now I'm getting into a muscle called the IT band, which stabilizes the knee and connects from the knee all the way up to the hip. So that muscle can get very tight for a lot of people, runners. If you're sitting a lot, it will tighten up just like your hamstrings. Excuse me. All right, same thing on the other side. My knee is at 90. I'm rotating my belly button in towards that knee and then keeping my posture in line to lean forward. All right, let's go ahead. Switch back to the other side. Now you can't see my foot possibly, but my knee is definitely open more than 90 degrees, which will bring my foot here. So I'm leaning into that leg, posture still upright, belly button is still trying to align with that knee, leaning forward, and now I feel that pull all the way down into this area as opposed to staying up at the top right by the hip. Go ahead and switch sides. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I feel like from this angle you can definitely see that alignment in this leg a little bit more, how it's extended. I am pushing into my thigh, not the side of my knee, in order to keep that knee down as I lean in. Alright, let's take both legs back, lay on our stomach. I'm going to push up into our Cobra Stretch first. If this is too much on your hands, you can always do the stretch on your elbows. Grab one heel and pull it to your behind. If you want this stretch to be more intense, you can pop your chest up off of the floor more, or you can go up onto that hand like you were in your Cobra position. Switch sides. forward, squeezing your glutes, squeezing your belly button, stretching the front of that hip. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Again, belly button engaged, squeeze the glute muscle here, drive this hip open, keep your upper body upright. Even though I'm balancing myself on this hand, I'm not leaning my chest in, which will shorten this muscle and decrease the stretch that I'm trying to achieve. All right, let's go ahead and come back down to the floor. Butterfly stretch. Use the muscles in the outside of your legs to pull those knees open. And try to sit up tall. Both legs out in front. Reach as far down your legs as you feel comfortable going. You want to challenge your flexibility and range of motion at this point. You're at the end of your workouts. Your muscles are probably as heated up as they're going to be all day long. So this is the time to really try to push your limits, all right? This is not the time to hurt yourself, but it is the time to really push out of your comfort zone and challenge your flexibility if you want to see flexibility gains. All right, we're gonna lay back, tuck your knees, roll them across. You want your back of your shoulder and your arm laying flat on the floor. You're gonna turn and look towards this hand. We're going to do the same stretch going the other way. So now the back of this arm and shoulder are on the floor. These knees are over here. And you're going to turn and look towards this hand. Let's go ahead and come back to the middle. And stand up. Drive one heel down in the back like you're in a front stance and take that arm across, stretching through the back of the shoulder. You're going to pop up onto the ball of your foot, so you're stretching through the arch of your foot, and you'll pull that arm behind your head, so you're stretching your tricep. You may also feel this stretch come through the front of the hip in this standing position. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So drive your opposite heel down, stretching through your calf. Pull your arm across. Go ahead and pop up onto the ball of that foot. Bring that arm behind your head. Both arms, thumbs down, arms at shoulder height, pushing behind you, trying to keep your hands up as high as possible. We'll put a stretch in the front of your biceps. All right. Go ahead and relax. We're going to go feet just slightly wider than your hips, coming down to the ground for that forward stretch. Support yourself on those hands. Get in a position where you can walk yourself into a good side splits. Let's rotate that back leg, coming on to the front leg. coming over to one side. Switch sides. Let's come back to the middle. Feet together, knees apart, and sit your hips back on your heels in your child's pose position. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me for today's workout. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you all in sessions this week. Take care and stay healthy at home.